So firstly, we're going to want to go to ManyChat.com, and then we're going to click Get Started for Free, and we want to sign in with Facebook. Now this is going to sign me straight into my account because I'm already set up. But what you're going to need to do is just go through the details, put everything in, and connect the fan page which you want your messages to come through on. I know some people have got more than one fan page, so just make sure you connect the page where you want your messages to go to. So once you are set up, you're going to want to upgrade to a pro account. Now to do that, I'm sure if you go to settings and on billing, you should be able to connect to the pro account somewhere here. So next you're going to need to, in the description of this video, there will be a link to this Google Doc. Now this is all my flows and sequences, and what we're going to want to do is upload these to our ManyChat. So if we click on this first one here, the web class initial sequence, clicked I got it, open that flow and save that to ManyChat. Now what it's going to do is it's going to put in this flow and every flow and sequence that is connected with that link. So that will put in every one of these automatically. This is a new feature with ManyChat, so this is kind of what I'm doing in this video. So if you go back onto your ManyChat, and if you just click view that flow, and click flows, and then here you should see a folder saying imported from Ben Stockford. So if you click on that, you should have 7 flows uploaded. So now if you go back to the Google Doc, so that is all of these flows here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now we just want to also upload these 2 flows here. So click on that link, save to ManyChat, save flow, and then just close that off. And then back to the Google Doc, and then the same for the second one. Open the flow, save to ManyChat, save the flow, and then just cross that off. So now if you go back onto your ManyChat, click back on flows, imported from Ben Stockford, and now you should have 9 flows. And now when you upload a flow, it will automatically import any sequences that are inside the flows. So if we just go back onto the home page, let everything refresh, and then click onto automation and sequences. Now on here it should have imported 6 sequences. So you should have success stories, 2-hour follow-up, 1 hour right now, 4 hours, and the 1 hour follow-up. Now ignore all these because these are for this tutorial, and then these are my active sequences. So you should have 6 like this. Now to create the other 3, if you click on new sequence in the top right corner, click back onto my document and just copy the sequence headline and paste it in there and create that. Now what we need to do now is we need to select the flow to go with that sequence. So if we click this button, click select existing, now you need to go on to imported from Ben Stockford file. So if we click on the clicked I got it flow and select that flow, Now, with the clicked I got it flow, it needs to be sent out immediately. So we set that to immediately and save and update schedule, and also just turn this link on. This will all kind of make sense later on in the tutorial. So back on sequences and create another new sequence, back onto the document, and the next one, selected specific web class time. Copy that, paste it in there, create that one. Same again, select this button, select existing, import it from then, and the selected specific web class time. Select that flow, and with this one it needs to be immediately again. Save and update schedule, and then put the toggle on. Back on sequences, new sequence, onto the document, and then the 30-minute reminder. Copy and paste in there, create that sequence, select existing, and then back onto this folder, and 30-minute reminder flow. Select that flow. We need to make sure these flows match up with the sequence. And with this one, we want to also send out immediately. And turn that one on. So now if you go back onto your sequences in automation, you should have 9 sequences, and they should match up with these 9 here. And over on the right where it says messages, they should all have 1 in. If it's any of them say none, then you need to click on and select the flow like we just happened. So while we're here, we're going to click onto every one of these and just make sure they are on. So select specific web class time, make sure it's set it immediately and it's turned on. Clicked I got it, immediately it's turned on. Success stories. So I like to send my success stories out after 6 hours after they have watched the web class. So if they don't respond to the follow-up asking were they able to attend and watch the web class, if they don't respond after that, then I'll send out this push for a success story message. So if you turn that on, now it's up to you if you want to change that. To change it, just click there and you can change that to whatever you want it to be. So back onto sequences, 2-hour follow-up. So schedule that for 2 hours and make sure it's turned on. And then the 1 hour. After 1 hour, make sure it's turned on. It's important we make sure these are on, guys, because otherwise it will not work. Right now is immediately, and then the 4 hour. After 4 hours, and then the 1 hour follow-up after 1 hour. Okay, so if we go back onto sequences, they should all be set up now. So that's all of your flows imported and all of your sequences created. So every sequence has its own flow, and that's how you subscribe your audience. You subscribe them to the sequence which has the flow attached to it. So just double check you've got nine sequences. So if we just go on to settings and click on custom fields. Now in here you might have a couple of duplicates of the date and time. Now you just want imports, date and time. So if there's two, like I've got here, two with the date and time after it, just click on the archive button to the right, just so you've got that one left, and then we'll delete them out. So now that's done, if we go on to our flows, click on to imported from Ben, click on to this clicked I got it, and click edit. Now if you're seeing this screen, you need to just click this go to flow builder. Now on here, these yellow boxes are actions. So this is where we subscribe people to sequences or add tags or unsubscribe people. So every action is a yellow box. The grey is a message box. So that's where we send messages out or add buttons, and then buttons go to sequences, or well, buttons go to the actions. So what it should have done is imported all of the subscribe to sequences, unsubscribes, and the add tags. They should all be in there. So what you need to do is just double check that you have exactly the same as what I have here. The only difference you may see is on the tags, mine have a date after it. That is just because it's a duplicate on mine because I'm already running it and I've imported it again. So if you import the same flow, it will add the tag, but it will put a date after it because you can't have the same name. So you should have on this one, add tag, imports, clicked right now. So if we just check through this, so all of these actions should be the same as mine. Another good way to check, if you go onto the document and click on the clicked I got it flow, this will actually just open up how my flow should look when imported. So just make sure all these yellow actions are correct. Now another thing we need to do is on the message, just click onto free keyboard input. Now just make sure you have pressed edit here. We're in the, it says edit step in sidebar. And if you click free keyboard input, this should be date and time, calendar, cancel, and now you see it says enter a field name. Click in there and you want to pick import date and time. And then once that's done, just scroll down a little bit. Make sure this condition is filled in. So you've got sequence subscription is 4 hours right now and 1 hour. Now next condition, this field is missing. So we need to click onto that. Click onto the red, and we want to scroll down to imports date and time has any value. So if the person does not give you clicked one of these buttons, or they haven't give you a date and time, it will then, and if they speak to you, then it will go through the, it will start telling them, we need to know date and time basically for us to send over the web class. Now we need to go around to this loop here, and this one's missing as well. So if we click onto field is missing, import date and time has any value. So if it has a value, yes, then it's going to go over to here. Great, first name. I will send over the link to the web class on, and if you click in there, you're probably going to get an invalid code here. So you just click there and delete that out. Click on these brackets, and we want to scroll down to import date and time. Now don't worry if you're seeing extra things in here, because I've got numerous of different custom fields on my ManyChat. So we just click onto date and time, import date and time. Now that's going to pick up what date and time they have selected, and it's going to tell them. So I will send over the link for the web class on whatever they picked. But we need to make sure that is not saying invalid, otherwise it will not send. So once you're happy with all that, again, these messages, nothing needs to be done with these. The only one that does need editing is this one here where it's got the invalid code. In the future, if you do want to edit these flows, if you want to reword it, that is fine. You can just click in here. If you don't like the way I've worded something, you can just change that up. Or if you want to add new text, you click down here and you can just type. I wouldn't edit any of this part here at the moment because this is quite confusing, but it worked quite well. So I would leave all that as it is, unless you just want to edit some of this wording, that's fine. But I wouldn't be changing any of these conditions and the actions. So now that's done, we should publish it. Well, what we can do first is just preview the message. So that's just said that there's an error on here. So let's try it again. So wrong question, user field type. So if you're getting an error message, got to find it somewhere. It doesn't normally tell you where to locate it, so let's try on here first. So let's try on the free keyboard input. That's all filled in okay. That's filled in fine. Now I think it's going to be this free keyboard input. So if we click onto this message here again where the invalid code was, we also needed to put in the date and time in there. So that was where that error message was coming from. So make sure that's in the custom field. And I think we're going to have the same on this one here. So if we click into here, same again, imports date and time. So normally ManyChat will pick up if you have made an error somewhere, it'll be flagged. So if we try and preview that again, that will send it straight to Messenger now. It should pop up automatically. If not, then there's something not connected quite right with your fan page. So if you click on, you can just click open Messenger, but if you go onto your Facebook, and here is the preview here. Now I'd recommend to go through all of your flows and preview everyone and test every button. That's not going to come through on mine because this is another thing. If you click on a button and it doesn't work, nothing happens. If you go back to your ManyChat and click onto audience, and then you should see yourself in there. So if you click onto your link, and then these three dots here, just click delete user. What it's doing is, it's because you're already in there, it's not going to pick it up. It thinks that you've already had the web class right now. See, I'm already subscribed, so it's not going to send it me again. So now I've deleted me from the audience, it's going to get rid of everything connected with me. So if you go back on, and I'll try right now again, it's going to come through. Okay, so again, go through your buttons, check them all. If one doesn't work, just double check on your audience that you're not in there, just delete yourself out, and it should work. he says. So back onto ManyChat, and what you need to do now is publish the flow. If you just exit the screen and you don't click publish, then that flow, them edits are not going to be live. So if you publish that flow and then go back to flows, click onto import from Ben, and what would happen if you hadn't published a flow is a little yellow circle will come here, and that's basically saying the flow has an unpublished draft. But whenever edits are done, you can just go back to it and click edit and publish it anytime. You're not going to lose them changes. So if you wanted to work on something throughout the day and then you wanted to come back to it, that's fine. It will not be live until you've published it, but the edits will still be there. So the next one I want to go to then is the right now, web class right now, and I want to edit that one. Make sure the sequences are filled in. If they are not filled in, then just go back to my document and click on the right now flow, and you can see what it's supposed to be here. So if you click onto watch web class, now this is really important. This link here is my web class replay. So this is going to the funnel that I am in. If you are not in, I'm in Adam's funnel, so if you're not in that funnel, you need to find your replay link, your web class replay link, and you need to paste it in there. If you're unsure on that link, then speak with your coach and they'll be able to help you out with that. So once you've pasted it in there, click done. And again, we need to publish this flow. You want to preview that one, click preview. I'll suggest you do. Click preview and then click on the web class and make sure it comes up. So publish that flow. Back onto flows, back onto my folder, and we'll go on to the 1 hour now. Same again with this one, check the actions are the same. Click on watch web class, and let's change this link. So change that to your web class replay link and click done. Preview that one, check the web class works, and publish. Back onto flows, back onto the folder, and we'll go on to the 4 hours. So if you click edit, back onto the web class, put your link in there, and click done. Check the actions are the same, and publish. Click onto flows, back onto the folder. So now we have done the right now, 1 hour, 4 hours, and the clicks I got it. So now we want to do the 1 hour follow-up. So this is if they do not click a time to watch the web class, then it's going to send them this message. So if you click edit, and we need to make sure, why that's there. You need to make sure that the right now, the 1 hour and the 4 hour tag is in here. They should automatically be put in. And then just make sure that all sequences and all the actions are filled in. And again, if you want to edit any of the wording on this, fine, click on here and you can edit. These links should be fine in there, so that's the success stories and the CEO movement Facebook page. Again, preview this one and publish. If this one doesn't preview, that is again because in your audience you will be in there and you are probably tagged right now, clicked 1 hour or 4 hours. So it's seeing that you are a yes and it will unsubscribe from it and it won't preview. So once you've done that, click publish, back onto flows, back onto the folder, and the next one we'll do is a 2 hour follow-up. So this is for after they've watched the web class. click edit, and just go through all of the actions and make sure they're all filled in again. Again, we've got CM moving Facebook page, success stories. The link should be in there. Make sure the tags put in. Again, it should all be filled in, and you should just be able to click. Well, you don't have to click publish on this one because it already is published and we have not edited it. If you want to edit, feel free and change the messages up a little bit. So, back onto flows, into the folder, and we'll click on the we'll click on the selected specific web class time. So click edit. Now with this one, there's going to be a rule that we set up later on in the tutorial. Basically that is for when people select a specific time, the rule triggers it at that time. So what I do is this is exactly the same as the right now flow, but we want to be able to look at the stats on both of them to see how well they're going, to see how many people are clicking on the right now compared to the specific time. So that is why we have two separate ones. So if you click onto the web class, watch web class, again we need to put your link in here. And on here you will have to add this one in yourself. So subscribe to sequence. Now this one's going to have to be a 2-hour follow-up. So if you've seen then when I went to do that, I had I've got 2 there. That is because I've got 2 sequences set up now because we've set them up again. So you should see this one and you'll need to click on that. And then publish that. And then click onto flows. Import from Ben. And then we want to go to the 30-minute reminder. Edit this flow. So if we click here, we want to clear subscriber custom field. So we want to get rid of their custom field because they are clicking. If they click I'm ready now to watch the web class, we want to get rid of that custom field so it doesn't trigger the web class. We want to subscribe them to a sequence, and that wants to be the the right now, sorry, yeah. So when they click that, it will go straight to the right now web class. And then publish that one. Again, feel free to go through all these and preview every one. I would suggest doing that. Make sure all the links are working, because the last thing you want is for you to go live, people come through the leads and then something's not working and you scare a lead off. So we'll publish that. Flows. And then the last one, success stories. Again, this should be all filled in. If not, go back to the document and make sure it's the same as mine. Make sure to click edit if you need to edit any of it. And again, the success stories and Facebook page link should be automatically there. Okay, so all your flows should be published So go back onto import from Ben. If one is not published, then you'll see a little yellow symbol. Click back on it, click edit, and then publish that flow. As long as they are all matching up with my links. So all your flows and your sequences they're all complete now. They should be ready to run. So now what we need to do is set up our growth tool. Now our growth tool is basically when someone goes through your landing page and they type in their name, email, and click register, it then comes up saying, it says a link saying send to Messenger. Now that there is where your funnel owner or your coach will put your link, and that then makes them go to basically sends them to your growth tool, which is basically a flow, which then subscribes them to the sequences of flows that we just created. So if you click growth tools, click a new growth tool, top right corner, and we want a messenger ref URL. So if we click setup, now in here type in web class thank you. Save that. I'll change mine to web class 1 because I've already got one set up. So once you click save on that, it's going to create a link here. Now that is the link that you will fire off to your coach at the end of this video, and then they'll put it onto your landing page. So if you click onto opt-in actions, click edit. Now we're going to need to do this from scratch. You can't upload mine. They don't allow that yet. So what we're going to do is if you click this right on the top right corner, this little square with a plus in the bottom right, perform an action, and what we want to do is we want to remove. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto my current growth tool so you can follow it side by side. So this is what I've got running in the minute, this is what's live for me. So I'm going to do the same with you on the right of here. So your first action, so you should just see this in a minute, this, and you'll have a message here. So on your action, click on it, and you want to unsubscribe people from all these sequences and remove all the tags. So unsubscribe from sequence. Now for this video I'm doing import and then web class because these are the ones I've imported to do this tutorial. So we need to get rid of the clicked I got it. So this one, and then we need to get rid of the 1 hour. Four hours. Two hour. And then we need to also get rid of the right now. And the success stories. Again, these are all unsubscribe from sequence. And then the email collection, we don't need that one, we don't need the follow up because this is a JSON code sequence. So, and then we need to get rid of the 1 hour follow up. So unsubscribe, 1 hour follow up. So then we need to remove some tags. So the first tag is right now. Second tag is 4 hours. And then 1 hour. And selected specific time. For that one. And then also click to watch web class. Okay, so we want to unsubscribe them from all these sequences and then just remove the tags, these ones. So the reason we're doing this is if someone's already come through your growth tool and they've watched the web class, they've subscribed to numerous of different sequences, and then say 2 months down the line they come through your chat again, they've seen, I don't know, another ad or they're interested again, we want to just take away all these sequences and remove the tags so they're fresh into the system. So this will be the first action that will happen to them. It will basically remove them all and unsubscribe them. So once they've done that, we need to drag this arrow up here, send message, and we want to welcome them and congrats on signing up for our 5 Steps to Freedom web class. So if you just type this in here, now to get this first name and the emoji, you click these brackets and click first name and it will put it in. Emoji is whichever one you want. Let's put that in there. And that's the first message going to send to them. And then the second message, again you're going to need to type this. I'm just being lazy and copying and pasting it. So if we click back into here and we click text, that's going to put in another message box. So this is just breaking it up a little bit. Okay, so type that message in and then click add button. And this wants to be I got it. Okay, so when they click that I got it, then they're going into your sequences then, because we're going to subscribe them. So we don't want these messages just sending straight to them, we want to make it look a bit more human. So if we click onto delay, this is that typing delay, so it looks like you're typing. So depending on how fast you want to have it, click on here and you can up it. At the minute I've got 3 and 4 seconds, so 3 on that one, and another delay, change that one to 4, and just drag that to the middle. So you're going to have a 3-second type, and then the message will ping to them, and then another 4 seconds, and then this one will send to them. And then what we want to do is, you clicked I got it, when they click that, I want to drag the little circle up here, and we want to perform an action. Now in that action, we want to unsubscribe them from the sequence, the follow up, because they've clicked I got it. So 1 hour, so import 1 hour follow up. Okay, we don't want to be following up when they've clicked I got it. And then we want to subscribe them to a sequence, and that wants to be clicked I got it. So import initial sequence, clicked I got it. And then add a tag. Now I tag these as Growth Tool 1 landing page leads. So any leads that come through this, they're getting tagged as a landing page lead. Now, tags are good for when you're doing broadcasts. If you want to send a broadcast out to all your leads, I don't know, if there's a live web class that you want to try and get them on, then you can send them out just to them people that are tagged as the landing page leads. So now you want to click back onto the message and you need to automatically continue it. So continue to another step at the bottom, click that, make sure it's ticked. It'll bring up this automatic continue. Drag the circle and we want to perform another action, and we want to send them the 1 hour follow-up because they haven't responded to us. We want to basically give them a bit of a nudge and follow them up. So that's going to then, once it subscribes them to it, it will go into that sequence, but because that sequence is set as 1 hour, to be sent at 1 hour, it will not send it until after that hour, and then that'll be the follow-up. So your growth tool should look like this, but you'll have import on the front of them all, so from the growth tool. And then you can publish that, okay? Now I'm not going to publish this because this is my actual growth tool that I'm using. And once you publish, I'm just going to delete these out. Now don't you delete these, it's fine. You should be left with that. So publish, and then go back onto your growth tools. You should have, I think your growth tool will be called growth tool 4 by default, and then you click on it. If this is already put in, that's fine. If not, just click in there and click the import 1 hour follow-up, and then click setup, and there's your link. So if you copy that, and then once this video is finished, send it over to your coach, tell them you set up ManyChat, and just see if they will pop your new link onto your landing page. So the growth tool's done. Now if we go on to automation, and this is onto the main menu. Now this is a little menu that pops up when people go onto your fan page. When they go onto the message, when they go to message you, there's a little menu at the bottom, and they can click on one of the buttons, and it will work as like a flow. So my first one, you click edit menu. Now I have speak directly with Ben, so when they click that, it will send them this message: Ben will be in contact with you ASAP. Now to do this, you need to click on here and type in whatever you want for this button to be called, and then if you want to reply with a message, click that, and then click reply with message, and then you can type in whatever you want in there. Could probably add a little delay in there, so put in 2 seconds to write that, drag that up. That message is going to send to them. Publish that, back onto the main menu, edit menu still, and then mark conversation as open. So if you want to click on action and click mark conversation as open, and that'll put that action in there. Once that looks like that, click done. Again, this is completely up to you of how you want this button to, what you want this button to be, or what you want it to say. You might want it to go to one of your websites, or you might want it to go to, I don't know, a different message. If you want it to go to a website, then you click open website and you copy and paste the link into here. My second one is watch free web class. So this is the open website I've got in basically my landing page. So they can just go straight onto, they can click on that and become a lead. And to show how successful this has been, I've had 156 clicks just by people doing that. So the last button I have is the customer support button. Now this is a reply message, and I'll reply with a little flow. So please let me know what you require help with. If they click more info, then I have it set up just for this to go to them. Again, you might want to add in more detail than this, or you might just want to change it up a little bit. To do so, you're going to have to start this from fresh. So to create this flow, click this here and click send message. Type in whatever you want in here, so let's just copy what I've put. And then add your buttons. Okay, and once you've added your buttons, you want to rename them to whatever you want. So if you want the more info, type it in, drag the circle and send your message again. And you want to just type in whatever description you want to give to the person about what the opportunity is about. You might want to write a big essay, you might just want to do a quick message. It's entirely up to you. Now on mine, I send a quick message of what we do, and then just ask me do I want to watch web class. To be honest, not many people have clicked on that more info, so at the minute it's quite a pointless button. So if you want to experiment with different things, then that's entirely up to you. And then ask question, I send a message, no problem, first name, I'm a little busy right now, but let me know your question below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Now to do that one, you want to send a message. Get rid of these ones now. Now click into there, and because this free keyboard input is waiting for a response from them, so if you cross that off and click user input, and then just keep that as text, and then you can type in whatever you want in there. Again, make sure you put in the delays in these. You should know how to put them in now, so click on here, click delay, and it will put it in there. And then my last one is an unsubscribe button. Now ManyChat do want you to be able to give them the option somewhere to unsubscribe. So this is where I have mine in the customer support button. They can unsubscribe whenever they want. So to do that, if you wanted to put unsubscribe button here, again, name it unsubscribe, create an action, and on that action you want to click on unsubscribe from bot, and then that'll get them out from your bot. I mean, we don't want people in our bot that, well, in our audience that are not interested at all, because your $10 a month, that is just for your 500 audience, and then when you reach 1,000, after 500, sorry, it's going on to $15, and after 1,000 it peaks even more. So we don't want people in there that are really not interested. So if they want to unsubscribe, let's get them out of there. So once you have decided what you actually want in here, you can publish. If you need any help with this, just let me know. If you want any advice on anything, just send me a message and publish that. Now one thing I've just noticed is this starting step here, we need to make sure that is always on the first message. So if you publish that, go back to your buttons, you should have 3 buttons here now. Now thinking about that starting step, if you go onto your growth tool, back onto that one you've created, it should be growth tool 4 on yours. Click edit, and again this starting step, it might be here on yours, we need to make sure it's here. We need to drag it over to the actions, because that is where we want people to start. Publish that. Now if we go on to automation again, click on default reply and click edit. Now you'll probably have a couple of messages in here. Just hover over them and click the bin, so you've got nothing in there. So when you've got a blank screen, click the little plus here, perform action, and we want to unsubscribe them from the 1 hour follow-up, the 2 hour follow-up, and the success stories. So just those three. The email follow-up is something completely different. So just these three here. And what this does is, if someone has watched the web class and straight after they've started speaking to you, asking you questions, and you're in contact with them, you don't really want that 2 hour follow-up or them success stories to interrupt your conversation with them. You want to break it. So as soon as they message you, the default reply will send a reply, but instead of sending a message, it's going to trigger an action which is going to unsubscribe them from the follow-ups. So to create these, create the action, unsubscribe from the 1 hour follow-up, and then the 2 hour follow-up, and success stories. So you just want that, and then the starting step will obviously be there. So once you have done that, we're okay to publish that. I'm just going to delete mine out because mine doesn't need to be there. And we also want to make sure we enable it. If it's not enabled, it's not going to be working. So the next one we need to go to is back on automation and welcome message. Now again, I can't remember what the default is here, but it should just be one message, and then you click edit, and we want to, this is just the message that I have for a welcome message. So the welcome message only gets sent to people if they come through your fan page. So if they go on your fan page, they like what they see, and they want to get in contact with you, they'll click on the message button, and there'll be a button saying get started. Once they click get started, this message will trigger to them. So if you've got a welcome message set up with your fan page, you want to go into your settings on there and make sure that is turned off. You don't want both on, otherwise you'll have both welcome messages sent. So again, type in whatever you want here and put in user delay. Now back on the Google Doc, I will put in any of these messages that I've got. They'll all be on there, so you can copy and paste over if you want to use the same as me. So publish that once you have completed the welcome message. Make sure it's enabled again. And then the next thing we need to do is go down to rules. Now we need to create a rule for the date and time trigger. So create custom rule, trigger, date and time based trigger, and the trigger needs to go off at the day of import date and time at the field time. So this is being sent at whatever time is in that custom field for this person. And then that trigger, we want to create an action, and that action wants to be subscribe to sequence and wants to be the rule select his specific web class time. And then we also want to create another action which is subscribe to sequence, and this needs to be the 2 hour follow-up. So once that is done, you can save that rule and activate it. I'm not going to save this one because it's just for you. So it should look like that, but you'll have import in here. This is my rule that I've got set up at the minute running. Another rule that I have set up is web class date and time reminder. Now this is one that I send out 30 minutes before. You don't have to have this. This is just something that I've just started trialing. So this is just a quick message to say the web class is going to be sent to you in half an hour. That's it basically, just to make them aware that the web class will be sent over. So 30 minutes before, or if you want to do it an hour, it's completely up to you. Subscribe to sequence, and you want it to be web class rule 30-min reminder. Again, import will be in front of that. And then for this one, save and activate. So you should have two rules in there: web class date and time reminder, and a date and time trigger. To rename these, you can just do it up there, or you can click these three dots. I know you can't rename there, so yeah, you can just rename at the top there. So we've done the flows, we've got our custom fields, we've got our date and time, we've got our tags in here, and if you ever want to rename any of your tags, you can just go in here and rename them, and it will automatically rename them inside the flows as well. So if you go onto your audience on the left, now in here, even if someone has just come through to your fan page and they've clicked get started, they will automatically be in your audience. They have opted into your ManyChat. So they don't have to come through a growth tool to be inside your audience. So there's a filter button here, so I can filter out people that have opted in through my growth tool. So all these people now came through my landing page. So if I click on someone, it's going to tell me what stage they've gone through. So they've clicked I got it, and then they selected a specific time, which is 22nd of February, 11 o'clock. It's sent them that time, and then they've had the follow-up, it's a 2-hour follow-up after the watch the web class. They've not responded, and then it is sent the success stories. And it's also tagged them at watch web class, so she has actually clicked on the web class to watch it and tagged them as a selected specific time. Now with a tag, this is a good thing about tags, like you could set up a broadcast to go out to people that have only clicked on watch the web class. So you could say something like, hi, first name, I see you watched the web class recently, how did you get on, if you've got any questions for me. That will just go to the people that watch the web class, and that is kind of like a follow-up. So you'll get a lot more interaction. If you want to subscribe them to any sort of sequence, you can click here. If she wanted to watch the web class now, I could type in right now, and as soon as I click that, it's going to ping it over to her. Same with the date and time. If she wanted to change, if she messaged me saying, could you change it to, I don't know, 12 o'clock, you can just click in the custom fields and you can manually change that yourself and apply it, and that will automatically do it. So that's the audience. Live chat. This is quite a good feature, and I know a lot of people who actually use this more than the page manager to speak with their leads. So if you wanted to talk to them, you could go in here and just speak with them manually. So if I go to someone that's gone through the chat, and you can see what they are subscribed to and what they've unsubscribed to, what the tags are, if they've clicked anything, all in here. So here's my ManyChat sending over the messages, subscribe to the follow-up sequence, it sent the follow-up, it then subscribed them to the success stories, still no response. She clicked on the web class link, but she didn't click it until Friday at 3:57 PM. So after all these follow-ups, she's clicked it later, but she has still watched the web class. So it's added a tag onto her saying clicked watched web class. And if I want to speak to her in here, I could literally just message and it will speak to them, and it will also go into your page manager messages, so it will be in your inbox. So it is quite a good way to communicate on ManyChat. The only problem is ManyChat's not got an app yet, so you can't do this on your phone. And also you can see the subscribe sequences and the tags on the right. And you can pause automation here. So I've paused anything to automatically send to her for the next 30 minutes. So if she was subscribed to success stories, it wouldn't go if she subscribed in them 30 minutes. I'll close that off. So that's quite that's a really good feature. And that is it for the Messenger Growth tool. On your dashboard you'll see your active subscribers, how many you have. You can change the date range. Your broadcasting is here, that's a different topic. Broadcasting is really powerful for when we have live web classes, or if you want to follow up with people, I don't know, try and send out some sort of success in the community. It could get people thinking again, their past leads. This is something that's really worked for me. It's got me a lot of sign-ups by doing broadcasts. I will be doing a video on creating broadcasts. So your next step now would be to go onto your growth tools, get that link, ship that over to your coach, and get them to put that link onto your landing page, and you're good to go. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you preview everything, and if you have any questions or want to get in touch with me, just drop me a message.